Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing fine. So, today, Alumni Club has come up with Malab Season 2, Episode 3, where all the I leaders can meet with our alumni and learn something new from them. Today's episode is conducted under the guidance of our mentor, Ms. Anandita Bose and Ms. Sanchita Shah. In today's episode, we will learn about macro photography from our very own mentor, Mr. Shubham Paul, who also is an eminent alumni of batch 2013 to 16. He is teaching in many colleges, and we all know how amazing he is. One of the best mentors we have in iLead, who is also very friendly and a skilled photographer and a cinematographer as well. You can also check out his amazing tutorials on YouTube and his Instagram to know more about his work. We will share his Instagram and YouTube page with all of you in the chat box. And thank you so much, sir, for always being there with Alumni Club. Passing on to you.
Thank you so much, Shreya. So, very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you so much for arranging this particular session. So, it's I'm feeling so good to see all of you virtually. So, today we'll be talking about macro photography. But before starting with this particular session, I would request all of you, could you please switch on the camera just for 5 seconds so that I can take a screenshot. Thank you. Now you can switch it off. Yeah, done. Okay, so today we'll be talking about macro photography. So you know I'm very much passionate about macro photography, though I really don't earn anything from macro photography. So, but it's fine. So I love taking macro photos, and I'm very much passionate about it. So today I'll be talking about some techniques that you can use to improve or enhance your macro skill, and I'll be also talking about some commercial aspect of macro photography. So it's not only that we can only take macro photographies of an insect or any kind of nature related things. You can earn money as well in terms of doing some macro photography. So let me share the screen. Yeah. So can you all see the screen? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now, as you can see, this is all about macro, though I have kept some of my insect photographs because I'm very much fond of them. So there are some tiny spiders, there are some ants, and the right one is grasshopper. So they look scary, but they are really sweet. So welcome to the world of macro, and we are going to discover the vibrant, colorful macro life around you. So you can find different kinds of macro lives in and around you. They are very much vibrant, they are very much colorful, and some of them are really interesting. So first, let's see this particular video. Can you hear the audio?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's watch this small video. So this is the amazing world that I'm talking about. So welcome to the world of macro. Yeah. Now see, first we need to understand what is macro or macro. So any idea about that? What is macro or micro photography? And see, this workshop is going to be very interactive. What is macro or micro? Any idea?
It's about tiny world.
Okay. Anything specific? So you're talking about with the use of macro or micro technique, you can capture some small object. It can be insect, it can be any other object, right? So we are talking about macro world. So basically, this is photographing small items. So I have told you it can be insect, it can be flowers, it can something related with nature, it can be something which is related with jewelry, product photography, household objects. All those things can be part of macro world, right? So basically, first we need to understand before understanding macro or micro. First, we need to understand what is magnification. So this is all about magnification. So before that, then we'll be talking about this particular ratio. So for magnification, we have some ratios. So we have 1:1 ratio, which is life size ratio. Then we have something called 1:2. This is 1:4. Okay, so we have different types of ratios in terms of magnification. So now I'll be talking about what do you mean by this 1:1, 1:2, or 1:4. So basically, magnification ratio is all about the ratio of projected image on a camera sensor. So if you are from BMS batch, so you know we need digital sensor. So we have something called camera sensor. And for DSLRs, compact cameras, mobile phones, generally nowadays we use digital sensor, right? So this is the first ratio is the ratio of projected image on a camera sensor. And the other ratio is the actual size of the subject. Now, let me tell you something. So this is the subject. Suppose I'm going to capture this tiny spider. So the first ratio one is the size of that particular spider, which has been projected on a digital sensor. And the other ratio is the actual size of that subject. The actual size of that jumping spider. It can be around 2 centimeter or 3 centimeter. Okay. So this is all about the ratios. So this is the ratio of projected image on a camera sensor and the actual size of the subject. Now, what do you mean by 1:1 ratio then? Now you have some idea about this particular ratio. You know, see, the first ratio is basically the projected image on a camera sensor, and the second ratio is the actual size of the subject. Now, what do you mean by 1:1 ratio then? This is called true size, life size. Any idea? So if I use 1:1 ratio, then what will happen? Suppose I'm capturing one tiny spider, jumping spider, and the size of that spider is around 3 centimeters. Okay. And if I use 1:1 magnification, then I'll be getting exact size on a projected camera sensor. The size of that tiny spider will be same as which is projected on a digital camera sensor. So this is 1:1 ratio. Okay, so I'll be getting life size images. Okay, and now see, there are some examples. Now this is 1:2. So one is the projected image on a camera sensor. So this is the ratio of one. And what about two? Two is the actual size of that subject. So it can be here, it can be a butterfly, as you can see here. Now what about 1:1? Now see, this is the projected image. So this is true size, life size, right? So this is all about 1:1 ratio. So we'll be talking about what is the basic difference between magnification and all those ratios. So we'll get to know later on. Now this is 5:1. Now this is higher magnification. So I'm getting 5 times higher magnification than the actual size of that particular subject. So this is all about magnification, right? Now 1:1 is a true macro lens or micro lens. So whenever you're talking about 1:1 ratio, if you want to buy any dedicated macro lens, then dedicated macro lens has 1:1 ratio. That means with the use of the specialized macro lens, you can capture true size images. Okay, so that is the basic feature of a macro lens. That is the basic difference between macro lens and ordinary lens. So we all are using different types of kit lenses, right? So those are not dedicated macro lens. Okay, so whenever we are talking about dedicated macro lens, which has 1:1 magnification. Then you can ask me then how we are going to get 5:1 aspect ratio. Means you want 5 times magnification. So there are some process. So I'll be talking about how you can convert your lenses into very higher magnification lenses. Then how you can use different kinds of techniques to capture macros. So this is all about magnification. Okay, now this is all about true macro lens. So we are talking about macro photography. So obviously we need some specialized macro lens. Now we can have various kinds of focal length for this dedicated macro lens. Now this is from Tamron brand. This is 60 mm. Now this is from Canon 100 mm. This is Nikon 105 mm. So we have different kinds of dedicated macro lens, and we can have different focal length as well. Now Canon has 100 mm, Nikon has 105, or Tamron has 60. We have 90 mm, we have 40 mm. So that depends on the specific brand. But all those are true macro lens. Means we are going to get 1:1 magnification. Okay. Now, obviously, if you are using macro lens, there will be some advantages. So the first one is obviously you are going to get the best quality possible for close-up photography or macro photography. Then we can use autofocus. So I'll be talking about some other techniques also, but there you will get to understand what is the importance of autofocus in terms of macro world. So we can get autofocus with the use of dedicated macro lens, then full use of all aperture settings. So I think all of you have some basic knowledge about aperture. So I'm not talking about aperture depth of field and all those things. So we can use different kinds of aperture if I use dedicated macro lens. Now, again, I have told you this is all about the magnification. So obviously we are using dedicated macro lens. So I'll be getting 1:1 life size magnification. So this is a basic feature about macro lens. Then macro lens cannot cut down lights. Now, what do you mean by that? To understand the exposure values, we have to know some different techniques. Then you are going to understand the meaning of this particular statement. So I'll be talking about that. And it has a large aperture. Now, who is going to tell me which one is large aperture, 1.4 or f36?
1.4.
দাঁড়াও, ওদেরকে বলতে হবে।
1.4, sir.
Sorry,
So
sir.
one example of large
1.4.
aperture is 1.4, not f32. So we have large aperture, larger opening, right? So if we use macro lens, dedicated macro lens, then we'll be getting large aperture number. Then this particular point is also very important in terms of macro photography. So we have to maintain a desirable distance between the subject and the camera, right? Suppose you want to take some close up of a snake, and you have to maintain some distance, right? নয়তো ওই macro তুলতে গিয়ে অবস্থা খারাপ হয়ে যাবে. So that's why this last statement is very important. So if we use dedicated macro lens, then you can easily get some desirable distance between the lens and the subject. Fine. So those are some advantages of having a macro lens. Now the thing is, how many of you have macro lens? Okay, before that, let me talk about this macro lens. Now this is from a Nikon brand. So I use Nikon. Now see the price, 65,000. 100 ta keno diyeche ami jani. So this is more than 65,000. So it's obviously it's very costly. This is a full frame lens, and also it has VR. Now what is the full form of VR? Bakira, please, same one. যারা এখন same 2 তে উঠেছে। VR, full form of VR?
Sir, vibration reduction.
Yes, very good. Now it has inbuilt vibration reduction. So obviously it will be very costly, right? Yeah, so we can see the price. So this is 65,000 rupees. Now, if you are talking about Canon lenses, so those are also very costly. But if you are talking about Tamron lenses, Tamron 90 mm, we have Tamron 100 mm. Those are a little bit cheaper compared to this one. So, but still, it will be around 40 to 35 to 40,000. So those dedicated macro lenses are very costly. Now, do you have macro lens? I don't have.
No, sir. No, sir.
I don't have macro lens.
Yeah, তবুও করতাম।
Now, obviously, you don't have macro lens. Then what's the point of doing this particular workshop if you don't have any kind of dedicated macro lens? But I think you have mobile phones, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we all are using mobile phones.
Yes.
Then we have compact cameras, these small compact digital cameras. Then you have this kind of point and shoot cameras, right? Then if you are professional enough, I think you might have this kind of DSLRs. So with the use of all those devices or gadgets, we can capture macros. So now we are going to talk about each of those devices one by one. Then we'll be exploring the feature of macro. Like first, we are going to start with mobile phone. Then I'm going to talk about some techniques by which you can easily convert your main camera into macro mode. Okay. Then we'll be talking about compact cameras, then some DSLR techniques. Okay. Now let's start with this. So now, as you can see, there are few pictures and I have used my mobile camera for capturing all those photos. Okay, so if you don't have any dedicated macro lens, then also you can capture some macro photography or macro photos. Now there are some techniques, so we'll have to talk about that. Before that, let's talk about this one. Let's play this video.
Your mobile phone's ability to take sharp pictures has changed photography forever. After all, the best camera is the camera you have on you at all times. But mobile lenses still do have some shortcomings. For example, taking extreme close-up pictures or what's called macro photography. Take Billy, who is trying to capture a picture of a praying mantis for science class. He can get an okay shot, but he is unable to get the magnified close-up masterpiece he wants to impress his teacher and classmates. Well, there's good news. Easy Macro can turn any mobile camera into a macro camera in seconds. Easy Macro's unique, patented design makes it simple to use and supports any mobile device out there.
So this video is talking about additional lens attachment, right? So nowadays mobile phones are very, very powerful, and like for my mobile, I have 4 lenses. So it's very important to understand the uses of the specific lenses. Now, suppose you have a dedicated inbuilt macro lens. Like for my Poco X3, I have a dedicated macro lens. You might have this kind of feature. So this is optional, and that depends on the mobile phone that you're using. But suppose you don't have inbuilt macro lens, then how can you convert your dedicated main camera into macro lens? I'll be talking about one additional lens attachment. So this is mobile camera lens kit. Now this is very cheap. It comes with those 3 sets, as you can see, and it has a clip mechanism, so you can easily attach this additional lens camera onto your main camera, and you can convert that main camera into fisheye, wide angle, and macro. I have used this particular lens. Fisheye and wide angle is not as good as compared to macro, but the macro one is really good. So let me show you some of the examples. Now, this is the basic settings about this additional lens attachment kit. So we can have this macro lens, ultra wide angle, and fisheye. Okay. Now let me show you some pictures. Now this is with the use of macro lens. Now this one is with the use of micro lens or macro lens. Sorry, this one is, the first one is wide angle, then the second one is macro, and this is all about fisheye. Now what is the perspective for fisheye? Angular perspective? Approx?
Sir, more than 180.
Yes, more than 180 degree and less than 360 degree. Yeah, so it can be 200. Like for this particular fisheye lens, we have 198 degree field of view. That depends on the specific lens. Okay. So if you're talking about this particular macro lens, now see this one. So this is from a Skyvik brand. Now it has a dedicated macro lens. Obviously, if you use this kind of dedicated macro lens, your picture quality will be much more better compared to that one. The other one that we are talking about, that is around 300 rupees. But this one is a little bit costly. So it will cost you around like 1200 rupees or something like that. But obviously you are going to get greater quality, right, compared to the other one, because it depends on the quality, it depends on the glass that you are using. So you can use this Skyvik macro lens. So we have different range. This is 20x macro. We can have 25x, we can have 15x. So that is the magnification. So we have started our workshop with magnification, right? So here magnification is very, very important. You have to understand the magnification ratio and the magnification concept. So it's very easy. Now let me show you one more video, and I have used my mobile phone to capture this particular video. This is also very interesting, one of my favorites. as you can see, this tiny spider is very much fond of me. But মুশকিল হচ্ছে আমি জানি না আমাকে পছন্দ না আমার ক্যামেরাকে পছন্দ। So this is with the use of macro lens, that particular attachment. I have used that small attachment, so it will cost around 300 rupees. But you can easily go closer to the subject and you can get some higher magnification, and you can convert your mobile lens into macro lens. So obviously we need some accessories in terms of mobile macro photography. So this is called GorillaPod. This is very flexible, so you can try out this particular accessories. Then we can have this kind of tripod that is also very handy for capturing some ground level shot. Now obviously whenever you're using a mobile phone, then it's very important to buy this mobile holder, otherwise you really can't able to mount your mobile phone onto that dedicated tripod. Then this is the price. Now it's around 145, so the price may differ. So if you are planning to buy this macro lens, then please go through the reviews, then decide which one you are going to buy. So now we have some more accessories like this. So it will cost around 500 or 300 rupees. I'm talking about this GorillaPod. This is the stand tripod. Okay. Now, so we are done with mobile phone. And if you have an inbuilt macro, now let me ask you one question. Now, suppose I'm using Poco X3, right? And it has inbuilt macro lens. So my main camera is 32 megapixel. I have ultra wide angle camera, which is around, I think, 16 megapixel. I'm not very sure. I have macro lens, inbuilt macro camera, which has 3 megapixel. Now, do you think still I need to buy that additional lens attachment for my mobile? So my mobile phone has inbuilt macro lens. Then do I need to buy that additional lens attachment for my mobile for capturing macro? No, someone is saying no. Okay.
No,
what about others? First think, then answer. Acha, someone is writing in the chat box. Depend kore maybe. Okay, Aniket. Now, kishe depend kore? Be a little bit specific. See, I have told you my main camera has 32 megapixel, ultra wide angle camera has 16 megapixel. And if I use the inbuilt macro lens, then I'll be getting 3 megapixel. But with the use of the additional lens attachment, I can convert my main camera into macro lens, right? And I'm not going to lose any megapixels. So I know for my main camera, I have 32 megapixels. So out of 32 megapixel, if I use any kind of additional lens attachment onto that, so I can easily capture 32 megapixel. So I'm not going to I'm not going to get less resolution. So I'm not going to lose any kind of extra megapixels, right? So that is the point of using additional lens attachment. Because if I use my inbuilt mobile macro lens, it is going to give me only 5 megapixel or 3 megapixel. Obviously, I'm going to lose quality, right? In terms of megapixel and quality. So I can easily convert my main camera with the use of that additional lens attachment. Okay, so this is the main thing. And if you have a dedicated inbuilt macro lens for your mobile phone, then also you can buy this kind of additional lens attachment, because most of the mobile phone has very lower resolution for all those external lenses, like be it macro, be it ultra wide angle lens, be it fisheye lens or portrait. Okay, so with the use of this additional lens attachment, you can easily convert your main camera into any lens, be it macro, wide angle or fisheye. Now let's talk about compact cameras or semi SLR. Now some of you might have this kind of cameras. So those are very compact, lightweight, and also cheaper compared to DSLRs. So let's talk about some techniques. If you have this kind of compact cameras, then how you can get some macro photos or macro videos. Now see, we have different kinds of modes. If you're talking about compact cameras, mobile phones or DSLR cameras or mirrorless, any kind of cameras, we have different types of modes, right? Now, it's very important to understand the features of those modes, be it mobile phone, compact camera or DSLR. The device can be anything, but you need to know your device. So that's how you can utilize those basic features of that particular dedicated device, right? Now here we can get different kinds of modes. Now there is one more thing. There is something like this particular icon. This is used for macro. So we have a dedicated macro mode also. Now, as you know, if you are talking about compact cameras or semi-SLR, which has a fixed lens, we really can't change the lens, right? So it has a dedicated macro lens. So you can use this macro lens. Now, whenever you're using this macro lens, there will be something called this focus limitation. So you can zoom in. In some of the cameras, there are some features like which can do some refocusing. Like, as you know, in most of the compact cameras or compact cameras or semi-SLR cameras, we really don't have any kind of manual focus ring, right? And focusing is also very important in terms of macro photography. So you can do, we have this kind of features in some of the semi-SLR so that we can do some refocusing. So by pressing this particular button, we can refocus. Okay. Now this is the close focus limit. So we have dedicated close focus limit for each of those cameras. Even for lens, we have something called hyperfocal distance. So for most of our kit lenses, we have a dedicated hyperfocal distance. Now, if you are using your kit lens, you can go closer to your subject at a specific distance, right? So we have a fixed distance. But if you're using macro lens, then we have a very small hyperfocal distance so that you can go closer to the subject and you can take some close-up shot. Okay. So this close focus limit is very useful. And also, if your camera has this kind of refocusing button, then obviously it's going to help you take some macro videos and photos. I have taken some videos with my semi-SLR. So I think I have Nikon L830 or L810. So I have used that semi-SLR. Now let's play this video. So this is with semi-SLR. See the quality, we can get 1080. See, so I have filmed this particular video with my semi-SLR. So you really don't need dedicated DSLR or dedicated macro lens or higher end cameras to film macro. So this is one kind of macro videography, right? So we are talking about butterfly. So now the next thing is DSLR. So any confusion till now or any specific question in terms of mobile macro photography or semi-SLR or compact camera?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Fine.
No, sir.
Now we'll be talking about DSLR. Now, if you have a DSLR camera, we can we'll be talking about different techniques that we can use to convert our normal lens into macro lens. Obviously, dedicated macro lens are very costly, But there are some tricks, there are some techniques. If you follow those techniques, you can easily convert your normal lens into macro lens. So let's start talking about all those techniques. And we'll be using only kit lenses that comes with your DSLR, right? Now, as we are talking about, 1855 is very, very common. Then we have 7300. We have 25 to 55 to 200 or 55 to 250. We can have 18 to 140. So we'll be talking about kit lenses. Okay. So we are not going to talk about dedicated macro lenses. Now, let's talk about some alternatives to a macro lens. So the first one is we can use close-up filters. So we'll be talking about close-up filters. Then we have one more technique that is called extension tubes. I have extension tubes and I also have close-up filter. Then we have something called reverse ring technique. Now this is very, very useful. So I was talking about this higher magnification, right? 1:5, 1:9. Yeah. So with the use of this reverse ring technique, you can easily get higher magnification. Then we can use some lens attachment. Now this is one kind of lens attachment, that is Renox DCR 250. Okay, so each of those alternatives has some advantages and also there are some disadvantages. So we'll be talking about advantages, disadvantages, and how you are going to use all those alternatives if you don't have any kind of dedicated macro. Fine. Now let's start with these close-up filters. Now this is the glass element. So we know we have different kinds of filters. So we have talked about filters. First SIM, so we have UV filters, we have Polaroid filters, we have close-up filters. So this is also lens attachment. Now close-up filter is going to, what close-up filter does, it's going to decrease the hyperfocal distance so that you can go closer to the subject and you can take some photographs. Okay, so this is the work or mechanism of this kind of close-up macro kit. We have different magnification. As you can see, this is +1, this is +2, +4, +10. So you can easily mount all those close-up filters all together to get higher magnification so that you can go closer to the subject and you can take some close-up shots. So this is all about close-up filters, and those are also very cheap. So it will cost around 300 to 400 rupees. But I think you know, so when we were talking about filters, so filter is very, very lens specific. Now, if I talk about the thread size, so we have different thread size, right? So we have thread size of 55 mm, 58 mm, 67 mm. So that is specific on that lens. Oh, sorry, that is very, very specific with that specific lens. Suppose I'm using 1855 and that has a thread size of filter size of 52 mm or 58 mm. Suppose I'm using 24-120 that has 67 mm. So you need to be very, very specific about the thread size. Then you can order the close-up filter for the specific lens. Okay. So if you're planning to buy this kind of close-up filters, then first you need to understand what is the thread size of the lens that you're using. If you're using 18 to 55, then please order the close-up filter for that specific thread size. Now, as I have told you, you can mount all those close-up filter all together and you can get higher magnification, means you can go closer to the subject. And I have talked about this one also. So it is very thread specific, because whenever we are talking about lens attachment, so we need to understand what is the thread size of that particular lens that we are going to use for macro. Okay. Now, as you can see now, how you're going to understand what is the thread size of the lens that I'm using. Now you will get to see for each and every lenses. If you have a dedicated DSLR, you will get to see this. This is the filter size or thread size, 58. Now you have, suppose I'm going to order one close-up filters for this specific lens. So you have to search close-up filters of 58 mm. Okay, now as you can see, this is also written here. Otherwise, it's not going to fit in this specific lens thread size. So this is very much thread specific. Okay. Now, if it, like for my lens, I have 24-120 that has 67 mm. So if I order 58 mm close-up filter, so it's not going to attach with that specific thread size. which has 67 mm. Okay, so that's why before ordering, it's very important to know the thread size of your specific lens. Yeah.
Sir,
Now this, yeah.
sir, +1, +2, +4, +10 type.
ওগুলো magnification +1. Now see the difference. Now see this one. So this is +1. Now this is +2 by using +1 and +2. Okay. Now this is +4 and this is +10. So you can go closer to the subject. So what it does is going to decrease the hyperfocal distance, and with the use of this close-up filters, you can go closer to your subject. And this is very cheap. It will cost around 300 to 400, maximum 500. It depends on the glass quality, right? Now this is, now see this one, see this particular example. This is without filter. Now this is the maximum close-up shot that I can get with 18 to 55. So this is without filter. After attaching the filter +1, I can go that close. This is with +2 and this is with +4. So now you can see the difference, right? So we can get close up with the use of this kind of close-up filters. So what it does is it's going to decrease the hyperfocal distance so that you can go closer to the subject. It's not doing any kind of magnification. Then we'll be talking about some advantages and disadvantages of using
Sir.
close-up filter. Yeah.
I had a question. স্যার বলছি যদি আমি ওই ফিল্টার গুলো আমি জাস্ট +10 লাগাতে পারি এভাবে?
না,
Just-
+10 দেখো একটা সেটের মধ্যে +1 2 4 10 থাকবে।
আচ্ছা
তুমি এই সবগুলো একসঙ্গে লাগাতে পারো স্ক্রু করে।
আচ্ছা,
মানে
আর আমি
stack
যদি
হয়ে যায় ওটা।
আর এমনি 10 করে লাগানো যাবে?
10 পাওয়া যায় না, 10টা
আচ্ছা,
হচ্ছে
তাহলে-
হাইয়েস্ট।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, got it.
এটা এই সেটে আসে, এই সেটে তোমার +1 এর পর 2ই লাগাতে হবে, তুমি 1 এর
আচ্ছা।
পর 4 ওরকম ভাবে লাগাতে পারবে।
ওকে।
এগুলো একসঙ্গে ওরকম সেট করে তুমি +1 2 মানে এখানে 3 এখানে 14 17 ম্যাগনিফিকেশন পাবে। Now let's talk about some advantages, disadvantages of using close-up filters. Now this is obviously very cheap and portable. And now the problem is, if you are using this kind of close-up filter, don't use your autofocus mode. So turn it to manual focus, because whenever you are using, you are attaching some external glass elements, right? So it's going to break the autofocus system. So never use autofocus if you are using this kind of close-up filters. Mainly if you are stacking all those different close-up filters all together, then please don't use any kind of autofocus feature. I'm very much sure it's going to break the autofocus motor of your camera. So whenever you're using this kind of close-up filters, put it in manual focus and focus manually. And it's very important to understand, whenever we are talking about macro photography or videography, we use manual focus. We really don't use autofocus. Then obviously it's going to lose quality, because quality is all about that optical glass element that we are using. If the quality of that glass is not that good, obviously it's going to degrade the overall quality. And as you know, this is very cheap. So obviously they are not going to use very high quality glasses. This is not universal. Now, what do you mean by universal? So if you have a 58 mm thread size, so you can mount it in a 67 mm lens, right? So this is not universal. Then you can't use the autofocus, right? And you are going to lose infinity focus. Now, what do you mean by infinity focus? Infinity focus is, suppose you're using +1 2 4 and 10. Now you can't go back and focus on an entire subject. So for focusing, if you're stacking all those close-up filters all together, then we have a very limited focusing zone. So we really can't get this kind of infinity focus. You can't go back and focus on an entire scene. So whenever we are using this kind of close-up filters, we'll be getting a very narrow focusing zone. So you have to go closer, then you can fix the focus. So if we use this, we really can't get any kind of infinity focus. Fine. So those are some advantages and disadvantages. Now this is the next technique. I also use this one. I have some extension tube. Now this is some hollow tubes. As you can see, we really don't have anything inside. So what it does is going to increase the distance between your camera and the sensor, so that it's going to decrease the hyperfocal distance. This is the whole mechanism of extension tube. Now, we have two different kinds of extension tube. So we can get automatic extension tube, we can get manual extension tube. So for automatic extension tube, we have some optical elements so that we can do some autofocus, we can change the exposure, we can have the full control over exposure triangle. But if you are using manual extension tubes, obviously you really don't have any access in terms of exposure triangle factors and focusing. Hmm. And obviously it's going to be much more cheaper compared to the auto one. So this is the extension tube. We can have different kinds of extension tube like this. So what it does is going to create a distance between the lens and the sensor size so that you can go closer to the subject. This is also, it's also not doing any kind of magnification. What it's doing is going to decrease the hyperfocal distance so that you can go closer to the subject. Okay, now see this one. Now this is universal. So when I am talking about universal, that means this is camera specific. This is not lens specific. So if you have a Nikon camera, you can buy one extension tube for Nikon. If you have a Canon camera, then you have to buy one extension tube for Canon. If you have a Sony camera, then you have to buy an extension tube for Sony. But you can attach or use any kind of lenses. All the Sony lenses, all Nikon lenses, all Canon lenses. This is not lens specific. So if you have an extension tube, you can use any of your lenses. That should be from a same brand. Like if you have a Nikon extension tube and you want to mount Canon lenses, then it won't work, right? So now, as you can see here, this is with 50 mm 1.4 lens. This is the maximum close focus that we can get with this specific lens. But if we use this 20 mm extension tube, see, I can go that close. Now, if I use 36 mm extension tube, I can get this close, right? So it's going to decrease the overall hyperfocal distance. And obviously, you are going to get some very nice close-ups. Now, if you are using auto extension tube, then you have full control over, you can change the aperture, you can use autofocus, even you can change the overall exposure triangle factor. Now, as you can see, this is 36, this is 20 plus 36 for getting much more close-up. Now, this is with 3 extension tubes altogether. So 12, 20, and 36. See, with the use of this simple extension tube, you can take very nice and interesting close-up shots, macro shots. Now again, let's talk about advantages and disadvantages of using this extension tube. Obviously, it doesn't have any kind of glass elements, so there is not any chance of losing any quality in terms of glass, right? So it's cheap in price compared to macro lenses. It's very, very cheap. Now, you can attach different kinds of lenses. Now, this is also not lens specific. And also the main thing, we can get autofocus. So we can utilize autofocus. Now, the Sony camera has very powerful autofocus, right? So you can also use autofocus system if you are using this kind of extension tube. But I would recommend all of you to use manual focus whenever you are dealing with macros. Now, if you are going for there are some disadvantages. Obviously, if you are going for the electronic, like the manual one, then obviously you are going to lose all the exposure triangle factors. So you have to do all those things manually. Then it's going to cut down lights. So whenever you are using multiple extension tubes, so it's going to cut down lights because you are increasing the distance between the sensor and the lens. So obviously it's going to cut down lots of lights. So if you are using this kind of extension tube, you have to use external lights. So if you watch any behind the scenes of macro video, so you will get to see they are using multiple external light source because of this particular issue. So whenever you are going to use multiple extension tubes, it's going to cut down lights. Then we are going to get very shallow depth of field. Now we are talking about focusing zone, right? Depth of field zone. So we'll be getting very, very shallow depth of field. Even in some of those macro shots, I have to stop my heartbeat, like I have to stop my breathing, right? To get a sharper focus, to get a very static focus, because we'll be having a very, very narrow depth of field. If you see the first photograph of that grasshopper, only the eyes are in focus. So you'll get to understand like it's very, very narrow. Whenever we are talking about macro or whenever you are talking about extension tubes, by attaching multiple extension tubes, we'll be getting a very narrow focusing zone, very narrow depth of field, which is very, very shallow. And for that, you have to use tripods and monopods to get a steady shot. Otherwise, the overall photograph will be blurred. Yeah, so as I have told you, it will create more shake, and obviously it's going to cut down lots of lights if you're using all the extension tubes all together, right? Again, similarly, if you're using this one also, then obviously it's going to lose the infinity focal, same as the close-up filters, right? Now we can do some interesting things with macro photography. You can try out this kind of smoke photography. This is also part of macro. Now you can take very nice, interesting close-up and patterns with the use of this kind of macro techniques. Now let me show you this reverse lens technique. Now, till now, is there any confusion, any specific question regarding close-up filters and extension tubes? Then we'll be talking about this reverse ring technique. Now let's talk about this reverse ring. Now reverse ring is a very interesting technique, and I use reverse ring, and most of my pictures are taken with this particular technique. Now what is this? Reverse ring is basically, let me show you this. So this is one ring like structure, so we need to buy this reverse ring. This is all about reversing. So this particular mechanism is called reverse ring. So you can search reverse ring for Canon, Nikon, or the Sony, that the camera that you have. So this is the reverse ring. This is very simple. Now what it does is, it's with the use of this reverse ring, you can mount your lenses in a reverse way, in a backwards way, right? So this is the work of this particular reverse ring. And to take some pictures with the use of reverse ring, you just need to use this reverse ring gadget. It's as simple as that. So what it does is, with the use of reverse ring, it can help you to mount your lens in a reverse format, in a backwards, like as you can see here. So with the use of reverse ring, we can easily mount the lens in a reverse way. Now, whenever you are going to mount the dedicated DSLR lens in a reverse way, obviously we are going to lose all the signals, right? So we are going to lose exposure triangle parameters. We can't change any kind of exposure triangle because it really doesn't have any connection with the camera body. So we have to do everything manually, be it focusing, be it exposure triangle factors, everything. So you have to do it manually. So now this is with 50 mm. Now this is with the reverse lens technique. So with the use of reverse ring, you can easily mount your camera in a reverse way. And this is also very, very lens specific. Now this is also depends on the thread size of the lens. Suppose I am using 50 mm, I want to reverse my 50 mm lens, then I have to buy one reverse ring of that specific thread size. Now suppose I want to reverse my 24 120 mm lens, then it has a 67 mm thread size. So you have to buy a 67 mm reverse ring for that. Okay, so this is also very specific, and you have to take care of the filter size that you are using. Now, first of all, whenever you're using this kind of reverse lens technique, obviously you are going to lose all the options, all the effects of exposure triangle factors. You can't change the aperture, you can't change the aperture diaphragm, so you can't change large aperture, you can even use focus, right? So you have to do it manually. Now to set the aperture, there are some tricks. So if you have a manual lens like this, you'll get to see this kind of lever. Now this is for the aperture, so you can increase the aperture by pushing this particular lever. Okay, so this is the aperture ring. So manually you can also control the aperture size. Okay, now if you have an automatic lens, now most of the automatic lens doesn't have this kind of lever. So what you can do is, like for this one, we have a lens detach button, right? Now set the aperture first, mount your lens, then set the aperture first with the aperture dialer, then detach the lens with lens detach button. Now it will does is it's going to fix the aperture. Suppose you have kept the aperture 5.6. Whenever you are going to detach the lens, it will remain 5.6. Okay, so that's how you can set the aperture, because it's very important to set the aperture before reversing the lens, because after reversing the lens you really don't have any option to change it. Now, if you have a manual lens like this, then you can change it. Like I have a manual lens which has a uh, aperture ring, right? 50 has a aperture ring as well as focus ring, so I can change the aperture by using that ring. But if you have a kit lens which doesn't have any kind of aperture ring, then you can easily change the aperture by using these tricks. This is very simple. Okay, now obviously there are some advantages and disadvantages. Now let's talk about this. This is very cheap. Now you can get this reverse ring. It will cost around maximum 300 or 400 rupees. You can get it in 200 rupees also. It depends on the thread size. So it's very cheap, and the advantage of using this particular technique is you are going to get 1:1 and more magnification with this reverse lens technique. That depends on the focal length. I'll talk about that later on. So obviously you are going to get higher magnification, more than life size image. So you can get 1:5, 1:9 with the use of the simple reverse technique. Now quality depends on your particular lens. So now, as you know, we are just reversing the lens. So the quality will be totally depends on the lens that you're using. So I'm not going to lose any kind of qualities because I'm not attaching anything, any external filters. So I'm not going to lose any kind of quality. Now you can change the magnification by changing the focal length. Now this is also very important. And whenever you're talking about macro photography, suppose sometimes I need higher magnification. Then for close-up filters or extension tube, what you have to do is you have to stack more close-up filters or more extension tube to get much more close-up shot. But with the use of this reverse lens technique, it depends on the focal length that you are using. So by changing the focal length, you can easily change the magnification. So suppose I'm using 18-55. Now, if you reverse that lens, 18 will give you maximum magnification, and 55 is going to give you the lowest magnification. Okay, and you can easily change the magnification by changing the focal length. So it's very easy. Now, sometimes suppose you want to take some wider shot, then you can use 55 because you know with the 55 I'll be getting less magnification, right? And now if you want to take some magnification like close-up shot, higher magnification, then you just have to change the focal length to 18 So lesser the focal length, larger the magnification, and larger the focal length, lesser the magnification. Now, if we are using 18-140 then obviously we'll get some smallest magnification with the use of 140 right? We'll be getting the entire frame. And also, if you want the highest magnification, you can easily change the focal length to 18 So that depends on the focal length that you are using. So this is a very big advantage of this reverse technique lens. Now there are some disadvantages. Obviously, now you have to be very steady, because whenever you're talking about reverse lens technique, if there will be, first of all, the overall depth of field will be very narrow. So you have to be very steady. You have to use tripod. You have to use different kinds of accessories to get a steady shot. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Even a simple movement can cause you a very out of focus blurry. Then we are going to lose all the automatic connections. As you know, if I mount the lens in a reverse way, so obviously we are going to lose all the automatic connections. So we have to set the aperture manually. We can set the shutter speed with the use of camera body. Now tell me one thing, how we can change the shutter speed if I mount the lens in a reverse way. Now why it's giving me the option to change the shutter speed? Why not aperture?
Sir, because aperture is a part of the
lens আর
and
shutter speed
shutter
হচ্ছে
is a
camera
part of the
body.
camera body.
Very good, right? Absolutely right. So because aperture is part of your camera lens and shutter speed is part of your camera body, right? So we have full control over camera body. So I can easily change the shutter speed and ISO by changing the shutter speed slider and as well as by changing the ISO, right? But we really can't change the aperture because that is part of your lens. So if I reverse the lens, so obviously it's going to lose the automatic connection. Then it's going to cut down lots of lights. Now we need to understand this particular thing. Now, what is the relationship between cutting down lights according to the magnification? Now, if we are using higher magnification, then we'll lose lots of light. So whenever you are using higher magnification, you need more amount of external light. So you have to use large aperture number. Again, if you are using large aperture number, you will be getting very shallow depth of field, right? So that's why you have to keep the aperture number around 8 or 11, then we'll be getting very less amount of light. And because of this reverse technique, again, you will be getting very less amount of light. So it's going to cut down lots of light source, right? So that's why whenever you are doing some macro videography or photography, lights plays a very, very vital role. So you need to use multiple external light source, be it continuous or non-continuous. So you can use any light source, but obviously if you are doing videography, you have to use continuous light source, right? Now this is Renox, this is lens attachment. Now this is
Sure.
also universal. Yes,
একটা কোশ্চেন আছে sir।
বলুন স্যার।
হ্যাঁ, কোশ্চেনটা হচ্ছে যে আমরা যদি এরকম ভাবে মানে রিভার্সিং কন্টিনিউয়াস মানে যদি ইউজ করতে থাকি তো ইন ফিউচারের জন্য কি মানে সেন্সরের প্রবলেম হবে?
সেন্সরের হবে না, লেন্সের হতে পারে।
ওকে, গট ইট।
লেন্সটা তো পুরো খোলা থাকে। তো
হ্যাঁ।
ফর দিস I use my old lenses. So I really don't use my 18 to 55 mm. So I use that particular 18 to 55 mm lens for doing this reverse technique.
Okay, I got it.
Don't use this reverse technique with your new lens. তারপরে হচ্ছে now this one. This is Renox 150 or 250. So this is a basic attachment. Now it has some magnification power. Now like magnifying glass. So it has a universal thread size 52 to 67. So you can use any of those lens which is in between 52 to 67 thread size. Right now, this is very simple. You have to mount that in front of your lens. Now, if you have a handy camera, you can use that as well. Now, this is the sample image. This is without magnification. This is with magnification. So you can try out this kind of effects or this kind of macro videos with the use of Renox. There is one more video. Let me play this video. So I have used my Handycam, and with the use of this Renox 250, I've shot this video. See? So you can get very high magnification. Now I have told you it's very, very important to understand the lighting techniques as well. Now, whenever you're talking about any macro techniques, so we are going to lose lots of light. Now we need to understand some lighting techniques in terms of macro photography as well as macro videography. Now we know different kinds of light source. We have talked about diffusers. We have talked about continuous light source, non-continuous light source. So let's start with this. Now we can have a dedicated flash. Now ring flash, this is called ring flash, like ring light. So this is it has a ring like structure, and it's going to attach in front of your lens attachment thread size, right? In the lens filter. So obviously it's going to give you a direct light source on a particular subject that is closer to the camera. So this is very, very helpful, but it's very costly. It will cost around more than 10 to 15,000 rupees. That depends on the brand that you are using. But this is a dedicated flash for macros. So we really don't use those kind of external flash for macro photography. So we use this kind of ring flash. Then we can have a dedicated twin flash unit. Now, as you can see, we need multiple light source. Like we have talked about 3-point lighting, 5-point lighting. So here also, if you want to capture a very nice, beautiful portrait of an insect, then obviously you have to use 3-point lighting technique. So with the use of this particular flash, you are going to get 3-point lighting technique. Now, as you can see, this is connected with a wireless trigger. So you can easily connect or control the exposure, the light intensity from this receiver, right? This is also dedicated twin flash unit. Then suppose you don't have twin flash, you don't have ring flash, then we can do something like this. Thermocol plates. So you can use your in-camera flash, and you can use this thermocol plate to create a diffuser. You can use plastics also. Now see, those are very useful for diffusing the light source. So you can use this pop-up flash, and you can use this kind of thermocol plates to create a diffuser. So you are going to get a very well diffused light source. Now suppose you can also use this kind of paper, translucent paper, transparent sheet, uh, to diffuse your pop-up flash. Okay, we can do some practical, but for that I have to go out. Now I'm done with this lighting technique. I'm done with different techniques of macros. Now if you have any confusion, or if you want to show some of your macro photographs, then feel
Yes,
free
sir.
to share your pictures. And also if you have any specific question regarding macro, please do let me know. Yeah, ইমতিয়াজুল আরো ভালো ভালো টেকনিক আছে, হ্যাঁ প্লিজ শেয়ার করো। নাইস। Wow, this is with which technique? This is with mobile, right? Please explain the technique. Now this is with mobile phone, additional lens attachment, or what? Imtiazul ki mute.
Yes, sir. এতক্ষণ
এবার
ধরে
বলো।
বললো।
হ্যাঁ তুমি
Sorry.
তো এই করো, very good.
Yes. So this is my first mobile macro. So this technique is like external mobile macro lens, only 120 rupee. So you can see the tape. You can also তোমরা মানে ম্যাক্রো ফটোগ্রাফি থ্রুতে প্রোডাক্ট ফটোগ্রাফি করতে পারো উইথ দা মানে অনেকগুলো টেকনিক ইউজ করে তুমি একটা ভালো প্রোডাক্ট ফটোগ্রাফি উইথ দা ম্যাক্রো ফটোগ্রাফি করা যেতে পারে। লাইক এটার জন্য যেটা আমি ইউজ করেছিলাম ফুল ফোকাল লেন্থ ক্যামেরা ক্যানন 80D 135, আর সাথে লাইট পেন্টিং, লং এক্সপোজার ফটোগ্রাফি। তার টেকনিকটা বলবো পুরোটা। হ্যালো,
ইয়েস ইয়েস প্লিজ
Yeah.
তুমি বলতে
এটার
থাকো, আমি
জন্য
নোটস
বেসিক্যালি
গুলো
আমাকে
লিখছি।
যেটা করতে হয়েছে, তো এটার জন্য আমার যে টেকনিকটা ছিল, এটা একটা মিররের মধ্যে প্রোডাক্টটা রেখে আর ক্যামেরা ট্রাইপডের মধ্যে হোল্ড করে ওয়েট হ্যাঁ 8 সেকেন্ড আমার শাটার স্পিড ছিল, আর এ ছিল 9.0, আর শাটার ISO 120 বা 100 রাখা যেতে পারে। তো হিয়ার ইজ দ্য রেজাল্ট।
ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডটা কি করে ডার্ক আনলে?
ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডটা ডার্ক এনেছি, জাস্ট লাইটটা যে আমি মানে এটার জন্য যে লাইট ইউজ করেছি সেটা হচ্ছে আরেকটা এক্সট্রা ফোন নিতে হবে, যে ফোনটাতে একটা কালার ইমেজ বা কালার যে কোনো একটা রেখে দিতে হবে। তো সেটাকেই জাস্ট প্রোডাক্টের সামনে নাড়াতে হবে, আর কোনো জায়গায় মানে তাহলে রিফ্লেক্ট করবে না লাইটটা, জাস্ট প্রোডাক্ট থেকেই মানে লাইটটা রিফ্লেক্ট হয়ে ক্যামেরাতে আসবে। সেই জন্য
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
here is this one just with the mobile macro.
দারুণ।
এটা জাস্ট সিম্পল টেকনিক, ফুল ফোকাল লেন্থ ইউজ করেছিলাম আর সাথে ম্যানুয়াল ফোকাস। So one of my favorite macro shot. এটা হচ্ছে মাছের চোখ, উইথ মাছের চোখ যেটা জলের মধ্যে ছিল, জলে জাস্ট ফাটছিল, তখনই আমি নিয়েছিলাম।
এটা ওইটাও অ্যাডিশনাল লেন্স দিয়ে?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, অ্যাডিশনাল ম্যাক্সিমাম আমি মোবাইল ম্যাক্রো এডিশনাল লেন্স দিয়ে, আর যেটা DSLR এ যেটা করি ফুল ফোকাল লেন্থ উইথ ম্যানুয়াল ফোকাস।
খুব সুন্দর।
This is one of my favorite macro shot, the external
দারুণ।
mobile macro.
এবার নেক্সট ওয়ার্কশপটা আমাদের ইমতিয়াজ, না? আমি বুড়ো হয়ে যাচ্ছি।
স্যার এটা উইদাউট ম্যাক্রো ছিল।
নাইস।
এটা জাস্ট একটু কোয়ালিটিটা আছে, কারণ লেন্স ইউজ করছিলাম ক্যামেরা ফোন।
বাহ, see,
দেখালেন একটা স্যারের মতোই ছবি।
you can get so many ideas. So the
Yes,
macro
sir.
world is really very, very beautiful.
Yes.
So right now you know different kinds of techniques, so try to utilize all those techniques. It doesn't matter if you don't have any kind of dedicated macro lens or DSLRs, but you can still capture some macros. আমি এখানে ইনসেক্ট দেখতে পাচ্ছি। Oh wow.
এটা একটা ক্রিয়েটিভ ম্যাক্রো শট বলা যেতে পারে। এটা হচ্ছে আমরা যদি বাইসাইকেলে দেখি, বাইসাইকেলের পেছনে একটা ব্যাক লাইট থাকে, তো আমার সাইকেলে ঢেকে গেছিল ওটা, তো অপোজিট সাইডে আমি মানে একটা টিম করে ম্যাক্রো শট নিয়েছিলাম, যেটা আমার টেক্সচারটা খুবই ভালো লেগেছিল, একদম ক্লোজ আপ, তো সেই জন্য এটা
Very nice.
is also a abstract macro shot. লেন্স মধ্যে রিফ্লেকশন পড়ছিল, এক্সটেনশন so this is the same process. সবাই জানে কলেজে থাকে, সেটাকে পেছন থেকে একটা লাইট আসছে, আর সামনের দিক দিয়ে নিয়েছিলাম টেক্সচারটা।
এটা ড্রাগন ফ্লাই না?
ঠিক আছে,
ওই আগের যেটা
এটা?
পাখাটা ছিল, উইংসটা ছিল।
হ্যাঁ,
বাহ, এই ম্যান্টিস।
স্যার কেউ কোয়েশ্চেন করতে যায় কিছু?
Do you have any question? No? Okay. ইমতিয়াজ আর দেখাবে কিছু?
ওই রেডটা দেখ,
আরে বাবা,
রেড রেড রেড
রেড
রেডটা।
রেড বলতে এটা?
হ্যাঁ, ও
এটা জাস্ট হ্যাঁ কালার ফেব্রিক
Color.
দিয়ে আমি জাস্ট অ্যাবটা বানাতে দিলাম। হ্যাঁ, ম্যাক্রো।
ওয়াও,
এই ছবিটা আমি একটু টেকনিক বলতে যাই, এই ছবিটা আমি জাস্ট টু মাচ ইন্টারেস্টিং ফর মি। সো পেছনে একটা জিরো পাওয়ারের যে নাইট বল গুলো থাকে না, নাইট বল আর 100 ওয়াটের বল, তো 100 ওয়াটের বলের পুরো বডি একটা রিফ্লেক্ট আসছে, মানে রেড লাইট রিফ্লেক্ট করছিল, তো টেক্সচারটা আমার দারুণ লেগেছে, সেই জন্য একটা ম্যাক্রো ভালো। তো নাম দিয়েছিলাম ব্যাটম্যান। That's the same process.
did he leave?
nice. Because of the network issues. Okay, fine. Now let me show you something. So I'm here right now. I think all of you can see the screen. So I'll be using this lens. So my last slide was let's do some practicals. So I'm here. Right now I'm in a very beautiful place. So I'll be using this additional lens attachment. So I have this Skyvik 20x. Now I have seen some insects also. So let's try out. So first I'll be using my by default camera. Then I'll attach this additional lens attachment and I'll show you the difference. Okay. So for that I have to share my screen. Just a minute. Let me switch off the video. You can enjoy the background music also. They're playing some songs and all.
Sure, sure, sure.
Can you see the screen? Is it visible?
Hi, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. Fine. Now let me turn on my camera. I hope you can see the camera as well. Now let's search for some insects. Oh, this is going to be a fun. আমাকে দেখার ইনসেক্ট আসতে চান অনেকদিন তুলি না তো ওইখানে একটা কি একটা আছে
স্যার এটা আপনার বাড়ির পাশেই?
সি দিস ওয়ান। না না, এটা আমার বাড়িই নয়।
তাহলে কোথায় স্যার?
সেলিব্রিটিরা মালদ্বীপে যাচ্ছে, আমি অন্য জায়গায় গেছি। Now see,
কোথায়
we
স্যার?
have some insects. This is in Uluberia. Can you see the ant?
Yes, sir, yeah. Out of
দাঁড়াও, অনেক হাওয়া দিচ্ছে। Now see, this is with the by default camera, so I can go close like this much only. Okay, now I have one more additional lens attachment. So then let's attach this particular lens. So I'll be attaching this lens. Okay, now this is very easy. Yeah, done. Now let's take some of this. একটা হচ্ছে অনেক হাওয়া দিচ্ছে, let's try. Now can you see the magnification?
Yes, sir.
পিঁপড়েটা পালিয়ে গেল স্যার।
ওর আমাকে পছন্দ নয়। ঠিক আছে, নাও সি। So this is with বাবা এটাকে সরাতে হবে। This is with this Skyvik macro lens, or any kind of, you can use any kind of additional macro lens attached. Now see the quality. Now what I'm doing is I'm converting my main camera into macro lens. Now if I use my inbuilt macro lens, I'll be losing some quality, right? Because for
Yes.
oh wow, দাঁড়াও এখানে একটা সুন্দর জিনিস আছে, না কামড়ালেই হলো। ও চলে গেল। Now see, I have one more ant. So you have to focus. Yeah. Now see. See. So this is with additional lens attachment. Let me take some flowers photo. Yeah. All of you can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
আমার হাজারোখানে WhatsApp আসছে। See this one. Let me take this. Now see, this is with additional lens attachment. And see the quality. So we have different kinds of magnification. So right now I'm using this 20x. If you want higher magnification, you can go for the 25x also. But that particular lens is little bit costly. So it will cost around 2,500 rupees. And this specific lens is around 1,200. So let's take one or two more photos. I'm searching for some flowers. Yeah, got it. Now see, I have got very tiny flower. এখানে একটা grasshopper আছে। Just a minute. Oh wow. Now see. Now let me talk about one more technique. Now, this is the highest magnification that I can get. Now what I can do is I can use the zoom feature. Now right now I'm in 1x. Now I can use 2x. Now see.
স্যার এটা ইনবিল্ড না লেন্সটা লাগিয়ে?
Inbuilt.
আচ্ছা।
Now see, this is with 2x. Just a minute. Now see the quality.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but আমি একটা ইনসেক্ট কে ক্যাপচার করতে চাই, খুঁজেই পাচ্ছি না কাউকে। Let's try this. So we have some flowers. Now see this live. And also you can take some very interesting macro videos as well.
Yes.
Now I'm using, let's take it from a low angle. Now see this. Key road go. See? this is just using this particular Kyvik lens or any kind of additional lens that you can use. So you can convert your main camera into macro lens. See the details. See, you can zoom in also. Now, if I use my inbuilt macro lens, then obviously I'll lose quality because for my inbuilt macro lens, I only have 5 megapixels. Okay. So any confusion? So we have done some live practicals. Still, I'm searching for some insects, but better not to waste any more time. Okay. So let me show you the place. Yeah. Okay, let me stop sharing the screen. Yeah. Now tell me, any specific question regarding mobile macro, DSLR or compact cameras?
বাকিরা কি কেউ দেখাবেন?
কি দেখাবো?
ছবি বাকিরা কেউ কিছু দেখাবে না?
Oh, হ্যাঁ, জানি না. If you have any macro photos, please do share your screen, and if you have time, then only. প্রাপ্তি তো তোলে ভালো. Anyone, you want to share some of your pictures, macro photos especially? So thank you so much. I hope all of you have enjoyed the session.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Take care. Stay safe.
Bye, everyone.